All right. Is everybody here? Just checking in, trying to see how everything is looking. Can I get some checks and balances that things are live? Are we live? Are we live? Are we there yet? Are we live? Trying to pull it up. Oh, look, hey, it's Dave Chappelle scratching his neck. How awesome. I need it. I need that live recap. Let me mute my other computer so we don't hear 1,000 beeps going on. Can I get... Oh, Chris Cheatwood. Yes, live. Awesome. Let me make sure everybody's in here before I start. Ready, set, here. Cool. Give me another minute. I want people who get the alerts through YouTube alerts and the Discord room. Make sure they are here. Just so I don't want to start without him or her. She, it, shit, whoever is listening. There's no sound. Wait. Can you hear now, actually? This is the question. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, you can hear me again. I was a little quiet at the beginning. Perfect. All right. Give it one more minute. Let's give it till 8:30 Eastern time. I recorded the original version and it was awesome. And it did not save the audio. So instead of redoing it, I'm just going to do it live. Because I have a feeling there'll be a ton of people who are available. Right now, it's not... Well, maybe it is your dinner time. Maybe it's not. Where is the link? Well, you're not a subscriber to the YouTube channel. You should get an alert. Swing Trader. Someone let him know in the Discord room if they would. I'll drop the link again too. I don't know why you wouldn't subscribe. I don't drop a lot of miscellaneous videos other than just talking about the markets. Been waiting all day for this video. Okay, well, there's a lot to talk about, and if you happen to get mentioned in this video, you're lucky, because I'm going to use you as an example of, mistakes or actually good things. Yeah, if you're subscribed, you definitely will get the alerts. Even my dad might pop in if he's here. I don't know. All right. Give it 10 more seconds, and then I'm going to start my little silly intro, and then we'll go. Yes, can hear you now. Cool. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. This is Dan Max at EXPI Realty, a.k.a. the Trading Agent, and this is your live daily market recap for Thursday, August 11th. Yes, 2022. As you can see, I'm doing this live. Unfortunately, the audio version did not record correctly, and I'm just doing it live. If you're newer to the channel, check out the Discord room. If you want to come in there and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, and you want to show evidence of such, please stop on by. Anybody who is newer, also please subscribe, because you're going to get the constant updates. And also check out Twitter. I dropped every single idea on Twitter today, and again, I don't get any responses. It's like I'm in an echo chamber, and I'm surprised, because if you're not in the Discord room and you can't check it, at least have your Twitter lined up, and you hopefully can get that alert too if you don't want such. Yes, Bill O'Reilly. Sorry. Yeah, and so at this point, again, if you're newer, subscribe, check everything out. Let's just get into it. I'm not going to ramble on. Discord room, fun, where the goods happen. Bitcoin. If you are long Bitcoin, please be very careful. This feels like a chop top, and I don't know if you're going to get that run-up blowout. This is the problem about choppy toppiness, is what? You can't get away from it. There's a problem here. Now, it's the same thing with gold. Like gold, Bitcoin, silver, your gold junior, your gold miners, your uranium, your oil. whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not safe. Now, oil near term is a little more of a geopolitical thing because, again, you need oil and gas to, heat your homes and drive your cars. You don't need to stuff your Bitcoin into your car to drive it, or you don't need to eat gold to live off, right? Like, those kind of things are very, they're more of like investor assets that are risk-based. Can we all agree on that? This debate is hilarious. Now that Bitcoin is back to earth and gold is held up and silver is where it always is, in the dirt, people are like, well, you got to buy this stuff. And it's like, no, you don't. So right now, Bitcoin, if you own it, you cannot let it get below 18,000. But again, that's a 25% pullback. Now, you zoom out, and what do you see, right? Like, there's no support after this. Like, after this green zone, I mean, 15,000? No, 12,000. Like, that's not cool. Now, if I, again, pretend this was a $24 stock and I said the first support is 12, would I set my, you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like, why would you leave such a loose stop? Ugh, no. Oil. Here we go. We're at the inflection points, right? We're absolutely at the inflection points. Can you see this? 94s, 95, whatever you want to call it. Like, again, please don't bring an exact measuring device to swing trading or even in day trading. Like, you don't know who's going to push something above or beyond the point of control. Like, you can just tell this is where it matters. Oh, it went slightly lower. It's got to go lower. Right back up. Oh, it didn't get there. But it did got there. Oh, it blew right through it, then right back up. You see this? Like, it's points of control. That's what we're looking for, the swing points. What is going to go forward? At this point, I mean, I've told people this. I'm not trying to be mean, but if you're looking to go long oil and gas, okay, that it's not the easy trade, right? Like, we expect it to come down, no doubt, right? But here's the problem. You put yourself in a position where everything bad that can happen in the world takes tech down. Yet geopolitical risk might bring oil and gas up. A hurricane, oil and gas up. A terrorist act, oil and gas up. Whatever. Do you see, like, again, now, I'm not going to tell you it's not going lower in time. Like, I know that. But in the near term, do you want to play that game where you roll the dice and all the dice, the odds are what? 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3 that you're right, and then 1 out of 3 you're wrong? Or if the market is going to correct, tech is going down, why wouldn't you stay in tech? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Like, is it clear as day? Should not be any confusion. Do you want to gamble on the things that's not as certain, or do you want to play the easy stuff? Like, again, think about Livermore. Yes, the line of least resistance. Make the easy money. It's always amazing to me how people don't realize, like, imagine taking the easy winning bets all the time and how they compound versus, well, let's gamble. Let's gamble. Well, again, if you keep small losses and you have large wins constantly over and over, your account grows much more safely. You sleep at night. You're not stressed out, and trading's easy. Well, let's go long oil then. Or go short oil. I mean, whatever. Sorry, short, because that's what everyone's thinking is, like, short oil. Again, no one is going to discount that long term. I don't disagree with that. Demand destruction's real. Supply will come back on. OPEC will cheat each other and produce more than they say. They're saying they're only raising output of 100,000 barrels. We'll probably find out in 2 or 3 weeks they're up 2 million barrels, and then oil tank. That's just how it always goes. Because, again, these countries need to sell oil. Keeping it locked up is not beneficial to these poor countries that make their livelihood on selling oil. Does that make sense? Everyone, is that a good rant? Can I move on? TLT said this. All right, you know how we talk about the more you're up, the less you own? Well, we get up to here in the 100-day, and you back off. We're taking profits. It makes a higher, like we talked about, you could have bought it here, and then it couldn't get back. I started looking at the market, because remember, this was like last week, or this was after the first of the month, and I'm like, what has better upside? Looking to short markets or buy bonds? If the bonds go higher, does the market go higher? I don't know. I take the trade-off. I don't get out all at the top. I'm okay with it, right? And then people are asking me about bonds, and I'm like, I don't know. Hey, what's up, Kat? It's another trade. It's another trade where I'm like, I don't know the exact best answer here. Well, clearly the market did not like what happened to the bond market. And if anybody says to me, do you not realize we're pivoting and the recession is later? What the is going on with you guys and gals that listen to the news? Like, there's no Fed pivot. Fed fund futures rate, a 50 to 75 basis point rate hike is coming in September. The Fed speaking. Who posted that on the Discord room? Good for you. Hold on. Look at this. I mean, it was literally just, here's all what the Fed's going to do. Where is it? All of their comments. And this is just one, daily. And I still remember the other person, Chris Kari, like, we're not doing anything until we get to 2%. Does this make sense? Like, the Fed pivot. The Feds are in a tremendous pickle. We all know that. Inflation is not going away. But what does that do? The bond market? Well, again, then it gets a little sneaky. It gets like 2008, potentially. Where it's like, the recession's coming, but we got to put the fire out. I mean, there was a housing fire, bubble, whatever you want to call it. And here you go. I thought maybe you do this. Here's August of 2008, right? It gets a little volatile, comes back, then it goes higher. Well, guess what? Maybe it doesn't, because the Fed's in a different type of pickle, right? This is not just a housing bubble. This is an everything inflation bubble. Because what? It's not controlled by the monetary supply. It's caused by tremendous shortages globally and issues out of their control. Printing dollars, lowering rates, raising rates isn't doing a damn thing to make more oil come out of the ground. It doesn't stop China from doing dumb shit. It doesn't stop Russia from whatever they're doing. Do we comprende? Yeah, see, it's like, okay, well, you stop out, maybe it comes right back down, then it goes higher. If you were long the bond market, I don't know why. If someone is long it, explain to me why. Leave it in the comment. Like, give me your logic, because I don't see why you would stay in that trade when you see what the market's doing. You go, do I want to stay in bonds or do I want to short the market? Oil feel like fishing for goldfish. Yeah, exactly. You might catch a little one. Not really going to be able to eat it. Maybe feed it to your cat or dog. The dollar. Always start on the monthly, please. We said this is a big uptrend. We get to the channel high, it pulls back, right? The dollar is not done until what? Till the Fed pivots. Well, guess what? Just like the market popped and it seemed like bullshit, this gap down and look what it did. Doji and inside day. All of this narrative that the dollar is tanking, I don't see it. Are we not just holding the blue zone? Clear as day. Again, is the dollar really done? I would again argue, would you want to buy the yuan, yen, euro, you name that currency? No. I mean, again, but it's like no, and like, where else do you go? Well, again, think about it. Like, we're still considered a free market, which that's a joke, but you know what I mean? Like, you want to buy currencies in other countries that have, I mean, can it really get, I mean, it's pretty bad out there, right? Like, every country is run by a bunch of idiots. As I was joking earlier with somebody, I'm like, it's like watching Spaceballs, and when Lord Helmet's on the deck and he's looking around, it's like, everybody's related. You're all a bunch of beep holes, and they're all the same. They're all the same. The VIX. What have we said over and over and over? Preceding the big one, the big kahuna, is higher highs, well, higher whatever, highs and higher lows. Is that clear as day that this is what's going on here? Highs, lots of highs, fun highs, volatility, higher lows. Now again, the moving averages on the VIX are on the monthly. I mean, as you can see, like, it's they don't really say, it's not like it's gonna start curling up for months. No, the VIX never really sustains up. It just can't. Like, the nature of rate of change can only change so much. Law of large numbers means it can only come down. What did we say yesterday about the VIX? This is a special kind of candle, right? Because typically at the inflection points, big greens, big reds, big red, or big green. I kind of consider this all one big red. Here you go, big red followed by big green. Dan, how do you predict this stuff? No, I'm just looking at the past. We're sitting here doing it together. This is literally what I do, and I'm like, all right, that seems like a reoccurring pattern within this. That the bottom, again, we talked about, luckily we never were shorting here. We were never shorting here. We started shorting down in here, right? Well, that was pretty extreme in my opinion, and then you made it even lower low. Can anyone tell me with a straight face that the world is going to be able to look forward and discount a brighter future? What is the brighter future that we're looking forward to? Because that's the thing that the market's always discounting. I would argue it's about to get worse. I think we all know there's actually food shortages coming in the fall. We also know that nothing's been fixed in Europe, Ukraine. China's knocking on the doorstep. The Feds are trapped. It's a midterm election coming up, and is it rigged again? I mean, again, like rigged in the sense of like nobody, like either candidate or everybody running is just terrible. They're not going to do anything. I mean, that's the nature of elections these days. So at this point, look at this crap. Again, we're neither Republican or Democrat. Like I'm the Green Party. I always tell people like I hate both sides equally. I just want people to do the right things. Here we are. We're back at this like low end of range. Can we get back to 16, 17? I don't think so, man. There's just way too many things going on in the world that if you weren't buying volatility. Now, again, I hate the idea of trying to like buy the VIX. Like the VIX is incredibly hard to trade. And look at this. This is so crazy. So think about this. If you shorted the VIX, awesome. But as soon as it dumped out, that's all you could do. But think about how quick you have to be in and out. Well, at the same moment as all of this was going on, the market went lower, lower, and lower. Well, this got just sloppy and choppy. So think of one as just continuing to go lower, like zing, higher, and this is getting choppy. Same candle as April 4th. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it's probably coming. We'll see. Now, again, does it have Fridays? Fridays, August. Remember, who's got the Stock Traders Almanac? Nobody but the pros. No, I'm just kidding. Anybody can buy it. Link is in the Discord room. It's actually, it'll be in this video. It's not that big a deal to buy this thing. And people are like, oh, it's $55, but it's July or August. I guarantee that thing in itself will make you enough money on one trade where hopefully you can rationalize a $55 or $50, 30, is it 30? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. It's some sort of cost basis that is like, it's like a tuition for class. And it's like, oh, I don't want to buy the books. Okay. SPY. What have we said? When in doubt, zoom out. What was the high today? 424.99. I swear to God, I'm playing the freaking Price is Right. We talked about short arming that things. What is short arming, Dan? It's when the market, you can tell, is trying to get to positions in the market and it just sells before it. Think about how many people are like, I'm going to wait till 425. That's a big round number. Well, it's actually the 20 month, but nobody saw that. Doink. Oops. Did you not? Yeah, did you see that today? Did you say that day? Because again, if you were super nervous about the market, this is literally like the stop out point. Like look at it again. Like if you want to do the monthly version of, where is your zone of, momentum changing, it's right here. Could have gone to 428, I guess. But did anybody see that on the monthly today? I mean, we talked about it. I know Lupus was like, dude, look at it. Literally, right on it. Ding, 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 ringing bells. Well, it's today's candle. Gap up, close, right back. The irony is $419.99. I swear to God, this has got to be some sort of Price is Right theme. Because that was the close of yesterday. Do y'all remember that? Bearish meeting lines. It's just inflection points. Like that's what this is why it's probabilities, because when you say bearish, it doesn't always have to be bearish, right? Like there's just points of control where the market volume at price and action, you can see it right in here, and you draw it straight across, and it's this area. Now you get a little bit above it. Does that mean it's game over? I would argue no. We saw it on oil early. I can show you this over and over. But now here, high volume highs, high volume lows love the tests. Well, this is a monster magnet. Like this candle has the biggest volume of all the candles you'll see. So does that mean something to you? It does to me, because I know if the market maker is what? A liquidity-seeking device. Again, there's no trading and movement without liquidity. Think about it. Why would they dump the market if they didn't already sell all their shares and were short loaded? Why would they pump the market unless they had covered all their shorts and were fully long? That's why chop precedes drops and pops here, like at the bottom. Now we can go. All right, shake everybody out. Give us all your candy. Whee! Now you want candy here? Come on, come jump in this van. You're not going to get killed. I don't know what the best analogy to describe that, but it's scary. You know, this is like it in the sewer hole. Come on down, little buddy. All right, well, everybody's now taking that bait, right? Like they followed the little sailboat. That's how it feels to me. Now, again, could we be wrong and this is the start of a bull market? You always have to have that in the back of your mind. But you can't like set, again, like is that the probable outcome of everything that's going on? No. Because what do we know about bear markets? They rally strong to go lower. Yep. Later, John. And so that's the thing. That's the market for you. So now we get up there, we open at the high, close at the lows. Well, here, let's run through this. Let's just start speeding this up. Speed dating, really. Remember? Dump, 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 dump. Look at today's action still. I got my trend line for volume. I'm still looking for that breakout. I don't know if it's going to be green or red. It's feeling a little more red. Gap up. Everybody's excited. I'm so excited. Just can't hide it. Come on, come on, come on. Do y'all not remember? Did you see, literally, go check out Twitter and FinTwit. I mean, you saw, I don't know if those bulls started drinking at like the AM. But look at it. It's literally the high from May. It's the exact high. Look at that. Point of control. Again, you peak to the top of it. People say, Dan, you're early a lot. Well, sometimes it doesn't get there, right? Sometimes it does. And then sometimes it gets right to it. Sometimes it goes just a little bit below it. Sometimes it goes a little high. Point being is what? Probabilities, right? Like stop thinking black, white, has to be this, has to be that. That's all it is. And again, when you think about like bots, yeah, no, agree, Kerwin. Like the bots, it's amazing. If you think, and again, from people who are like, well, I think this is rigged, and this is cheated, and this is rigged, and this isn't real, and the medicine and the COVID. Do you not think the market has the same mechanisms that are fake, that get you and I to read it and go, well, hey, market's going higher, right? Right? That chat looks like a bull flag fourth touch. I don't know. Whatever. Point being is what? High, low. What have we said about the Qs? People, again, I say this. Do I need to say it every video? The Qs, the bear market, and again, let's just start from perspective. Once you get under the 20-month, it's game over. We're not even close to the 20-month on the Qs. And now it's starting to curl down. Yeah, I got it. So at this point, right, you're below the 20-month. We're not even coming back close to it. Well, I thought the point of control at the lows would be, what, 268? I think we got down to like 270. Oops. Everybody says it's the start of bull. Because you have to remember, the idiots that get paid to talk about this stuff, nobody ever wants to discount a bull market. Because why? You're not going to invest with them if they're like, well, the market's going to go lower. It's like real estate agents, the same thing. Like, they're never out there going, oh, the market sucks to buy real estate, because then no one will buy it. And then they don't get their commissions and no one gets paid. Well, I love crappy markets because I like to buy investments, but same thing, like I like to buy deals in the market. Do you all see like why 99.9% of the people on the internet will always be bullish? They're trying to get you to invest with them. Nobody wants to short the market. No one knows how to play bear markets. Nobody knows how to trade. These are all a bunch of social media porn stars that when a bull market's around, they all look like geniuses. They're all geniuses. Yes, the 50% fib, that was such crap. We showed you how many times. Wrong, 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 wrong. And I don't even want to get there because this video will be like 8 hours. It'll be, the market will be opening by the time this thing ends if we really go that deep. IWM, here we go. Back testing the trend lines. Held our support zone. Talked about it backing up to the 2018-2020 highs. Here we go. IWM leads, right? Short arm of the law, right? Short arm was the theme of the day, right? You see these patterns during the day. You start calling, uh-oh, spaghetti-o. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Is the volume starting to what? Is it starting to increase? I don't know about you guys, but what is this candle? I mean, if I did this, would it be more obvious? That's what it looks like. But keep in mind, it could go higher. We don't know for sure, but Is the 200-day coming? Is that big round 200 area coming? Based on today's action, I don't know. And again, is the market looking for a reason? I love when the market doesn't do what you think it was for the reason. I mean, think about the CPI. Everybody's like, it has to go down. Then it goes up, and everybody's confused. Everybody eats crap. What happens now if the market starts dropping on no news? Even better. Because again, the news will bring out the flush, and then the flush can get choppy for a bit. You know, as we talk about, like a market doesn't go in a straight line, right? Like here you go. Here's a flush, and then you pop back. I want the shh, nobody's talking about it. And then, CNBC runs the special, markets in turmoil, rallies back. Shh, oh no, the world's ending. You see what I mean? Like we want, again, the market makers are, again, stealthy. They don't want you to think the market's going lower. Does this make sense? Like, they don't want to advertise the market's lower and everyone's selling. Like, it's the time to sell. No, what are they trying to advertise? Everything's great. You're going to get rich. Buy the market. Down here, the world is going to end. Please sell your stocks before it's too late. Does this make sense? Earnings are a perfect microcosm for people who think market has to behave for a reason. Anything will happen that helps MMs most regardless of that. Yes. Absolutely. Again, I say this, and I mean it like in a nice way. Like, take your ego out of the game and start thinking about what the market maker is trying to do. I have the 8 rules in the VPA room, and also in the reference articles in the Discord room. It's really that simple. This is like a casino, and they know the odds are 52-48 in blackjack, and in craps it's this. If you play this way, it's literally just like that. Like there's the more bullish the market seems, the more bearish you should become, and the vice versa. And the more the market is out of position, the more it probably is going to do the opposite of what everyone thinks it's going to do. Does this make sense? And this is why, like gold, like if you ever trade gold for a long period of time, you learn this to a T, because this is the most manipulated market in the world. Like gold is by far, like, do we all not agree? Like gold probably should be at what, $3,000 to $5,000 an ounce? Does anyone think it should be lower? Like, no, it's much lower than it should be. But if you can trade gold, everything is easy. That's why I talk about, like, here you go, coming off of a low, no volume. Did the market makers unlock the volume they need to take this higher? Did they scare the living poop out of buyers? Can anyone honestly look at this and go, yes, this is the bottom. This is the long-term bottom, Dan? No, you can't. Once you look at the evidence and then you go, well, what is gold? Gold is the king of doubles, double bottoms, double bottom, double bottom, double bottom, double bottom. Like I said, a no-brainer ad. I put these things out here. Double top, multi-chop bottom, triple bottom. Can we all agree? I swear to God, if somebody asks me about gold going higher, I'm going to give them a big hug and say, I love you, but you're an idiot. That's what it is. Like, you're just not, dude, gold loves to trick people. It's literally, Scott, you've been around. You've seen how gold has literally been one of the most difficult things to trade. And when we're right on it, we're right a lot. And when we're wrong, it plays this game of purgatory. And what we've evolved to as traders to go, well, I don't want to be back in purgatory, so let's not be in purgatory. Well, I love gold, literally love it. I think it's a great investment. Yeah, it got me a few times. I mean, my biggest losses have always been in gold. That's the irony of it. So when people say, like, well, you don't know gold. No, I have a 7-figure tuition bill that I am student loan from Gold University. That's how much it costs to figure it out. But once you figure out gold, everything is easy. Hope that makes sense. And so, do you see, like, I'm like pointing my hands like you could see it. No. Do you see the liquidity unlocked? No. I don't. Check out the monthly. People don't remember this. The 0.382 on a cup and handle is the max depth typically of the handle. Look where it got to. The 0.382. Nobody up here saw that coming except us. Didn't we say that? Scott, you're here. Weren't we saying, watch out. It's going to the 150s, 160s. 1680 is like 158 or 157 on the GLD. Dan, you don't know gold. Okay, whatever, man. Remember down here we're the ones screaming at it, bull, 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 and then when it went rocking, yeah, nobody remembers that. Yeah, since March. Like, get uncomfortable, because what do we talk about? The double, we talked about this. This is the 2011 high in red. And I was like, oh my God. Here, where's Curran? You want to see professional gap? Game over, professional gap on a lower high? Look at this on gold. You literally opened high, closed low, pretend like today, then the gap. And then what happened? You weren't shopping at the gap. You're eating ramen for the next few months, or from forever if you're trading gold long. It just went, then it bounces, backs out of some trend lines, lower low. So if I don't know how to say this more comfortably than I'll ever say it again, like, if you're in the Discord room and you like gold, you should buy Tesla then too. Let's just go there. Sorry. Silver. This is like even harder than gold. We call this the redheaded stepchild because it's like, I mean, can I say that? Is that racist or something? I don't know. Whatever. It's harder than gold. It's more manipulating gold. JP Morgan's sitting on like a mountain of this stuff, and they're like, like, you know, what's his Burns from The Simpsons? Like, yeah, like that's him, or like Scrooge McDuck. He's got that vault. The best times to buy silver when the market gets slammed. COVID, and even went a little higher. Now again, has the Fed pivoted? If somebody again says the Fed's pivoting, I mean, again, I don't know what you're reading. I mean, are you reading what the Fed governors say? Or are you reading what Playboy magazine or Play Trader magazine? That's probably Play Trader magazine is saying. No, nobody believes the Feds are pivoting, except who? Again, check your sources. Do y'all notice how I don't like go scouring the internet for my information? I look for the charts and then I look at the headline. That's all it is. Yeah. Yes, the spot price is insane. That's why I keep telling people, buy as much physical as you can, because no matter what the price is down here, the premium is going to price you at $28 to $32 an ounce of silver all day. All day. GDX. I don't even want to talk about silver. Just don't buy it. Can we agree? If gold's not ready, silver ain't ready. And silver's more what? Silver's more volatile to the market. If the market's going down, gold is definitely going south for the winter or the fall or the next few weeks. GDX, same thing. Buy this thing. Actually, don't buy this. Remember, we're going to the juniors. If you are new to the channel and you like gold, delete the GDX and all large miners from your vernacular of trading. Do not go there. Because at this point in the cycle, the large miners have to buy the juniors. That's how they're going to get more gold exposure. They're tapped out. And not tapped out completely, but again, they're not going to get the premium. So look at the GDX. I did this. I mean, remember, this is me doing the video again. I said, look at the May lows for the GDX, right? That's like a mile away. Look at the GDXJ. It's retesting the May lows. Can we see that? Like, again, evidence-based. This is me not telling you something that I'm just making up. Is it clear as day the GDXJ is by far the better buy when gold bottoms? Is that clear now? Dan, I don't know. No, you know. Now you know. AG. Who, again, Scott, you're here. Remember, we're like, get out of this. Leave it alone. Oh, but it's retesting. Look again. Here you go. The retest with a big, what? Red candle. Opens high, closes low. What happens? Professional gap. Man, I could just, it's all the same crap. Do you guys see that? Professional gap. Trap. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You know, like this SNL skit where they're getting off the airplane. Bye-bye. It was the best sell of the year. I agree. Because we were buying it down here. Remember, I got all these little inflection points. And then, like, it's so crazy. It went a little lower. It's like, all right, whatever. It's going higher. And again, you started seeing the unlocking of the volume up there, and then it came back. And that's why you could technically figure it must be going up here, hence why that candle was drawn. And keep in mind, this goes even farther left. Goes way further left. Way further left on AG. Look at all these bottoms down here. Look at this volume. Look, are y'all seeing this stuff? Like, it's like, to me, every time I see it, it's like, wow, that's just a cheat code. You see how this area was acting as resistance? You go all the way back. And then what happened here? Doink. 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 That's what we're looking for. If you can find and spot this in the market, Do you need to look at the vol sweeps? Do you need to look at the dark pool numbers? Do you need to look at and pay all this money for RSI, MACD, and squiggly lines, spaghetti junction crap? No. No, you don't. AEM. This one has volume. They are what you consider a large cap miner, but somebody wanted some volume here. So when we come back to later and it's time to buy, you buy, look at the volume here, right? And then you look at Newmont's volume, right? Well, who's better, Newmont or AEM? Coming off the volume drop, this is like the market maker trying to get as much unloaded as possible. And again, this will probably go higher in time, but do you want a puke from earnings because their earnings are foul? Or do you want AEM, whose earnings were great, and they got the gap up? Like, the market's telling you who's right, who's better, but people just look at, they'll read Play Trader magazine and they'll go, Newmont's the one. And then again, you look at the monthly. Again, a lot of people, again, we're like, you got to get out of this thing. Everyone's like, no, it's going higher. Like, you're coming into the monthly uptrends. No. Oh, but they'll do it on the daily. And we talked about it, like retesting up here. It's crazy how people don't realize like how easy this stuff is sometimes. And it's like, well, it has to fail at 80. Look at that. It got all the way to 86. I didn't short it. But look. Now you're back at the monthly support zone. Do I want to buy Newmont or AEM? No. Pass. Look at this. Yeah, pass. Remember, we said pass, pass, pass. You look at the monthly, you're like, oh, this looks okay. Look at the daily. Ah! Hey, gold and silver going higher. Have you not got the message from Play Trader magazine? Yes, it will, ID Doc. I agree. Play Trader magazine. Do you want to? Did you not read? I mean, I swear, I get people going like, I have to buy gold. And so I'm like, you got an addiction to losing. If you think you buy silver and gold when it's the wrong times, you don't understand. Like, wait for everyone to hate this. Well, if gold and silver is going higher, and silver in PAAS has bad earnings, what should happen? What should happen? It shouldn't just do this. It shouldn't be like Newmont. Like, think about this. Can we stop again? Like, listen, if the market's going higher in gold and silver, this action does not stay on the floor. There is enough buying power that it should wipe this out. No, the market makers are like, oh man, we have to sit on this one a while. We're gonna have to sell a lot of calls. That's just what it is, right? People sometimes they really overcomplicate things. Like here, NFGC again. This is one I like. Again, Sprott's all over this thing. Sprott did me right with KL. I still think you get in the threes. Where's Hecla? Yeah, Hecla's one. HL. It's not on here. Again, you probably can buy these silver juniors. Can't handle Clay Trader wearing the same F&B t-shirt every day. I don't know who that is. Does this make sense? Like, wait for this. I mean, look at this. I mean, this ETF just came out literally. All right, another note. Remember we talked about ETFs coming out at the top. Not every one of them does that, but I mean, a lot of them do that. Here, you want to see another fun one that came out at the top? It's the SMH. All right. Anyway, back to the regular scheduling and programming. X. Hey, congratulations if you bought this, but nobody remembers when we were buying it down here and then we sold it up here. Well, now you could have bought it. People were buying it. I mean, this is the hardest thing is, did you want to own a letter X or tech? I don't know. I mean, to me, you had the catalyst. X, always worried about the China dumping commodities onto the market and Uncle Joe taking tariffs off. But guess what? Now you're at the 200-day. It acted as resistance before. Let's not fight the probabilities. If you were long U.S. steel and the 200-day was resistance previously, respect my authority. If you know that reference, respect that. You just have to. Okay? Newmont or Nucor. People are like, oh, you totally missed this. You know how I give myself a pat on the back because I think I actually predicted the right ones to do the right thing. Now, did I ride these? No. I missed them. Remember, we got stopped out. We got in on the trend line. It bounced and it came lower. And I was like, you know what? Screw this. And this was obviously in July as the market was already starting to rally. I'm like, I'm done with this crap. Well, even though we missed it, I didn't play X, didn't play VALE. We liked this one the best. And guess what? Awesome sauce. Now what do you got up here? Scary. This could get scary. That's all I got to say on that. CCJ. Do we have any uranium fans in the room? Any addicts who believe that uranium is obviously the future but isn't going higher? Can you please step up, raise your hand, close your eyes, slap. No, stop it. Please stop, man. We've talked about this. Nothing's safe. At some point, I've said, look at the 18 to 16 range. I know there's a ton of these people. Like, look down here. I mean, you can even stretch it down lower. Keep in mind, when the VIX, do you see why I'm drawing this box here? Do you see that now? It's the literally low of the volume at price zone. Like, if you're going to unlock the next wave of the ultimate CCJ move, which will come. No one's arguing that. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week. And it's probably not next month either. You find a 16 handle on this stock, you buy as much as you want, and you let that son of a biscuit ride, and we will trade that till as long as we need. Just like gold. When it starts going, oh my God. VALE. Critical stuff. Here's Scott. Here's a Scott special if you're still in here. I'll give you all the credit for this one. You're like, hey, Dan, watch VALE. Like, here was the volume, right? Tons of volume down here. Then you gap down. Oh, man. Open up. Right? Think about it. Novice gap. Then it dojied. And it's like, oh, crap, you're right. We didn't buy it. Nah, one hit wonder. Shut up, man. And it backed up to the 20-day. And that's where we go all in. Y'all remember that? All in. It was like, we can't chase it. We can't chase it. But guess what? What did we notice previously? The 20-day was resistance. All you have to do is look backwards. Stop looking at your screen in the 10 minutes. I'm telling you, you're going to see so much more out of the market from studying the past. We said you got to get over the 20-day. Oh, we got over the 20-day. First back up. I mean, again, it didn't go right away, but look at that. I mean, you had 4 days. How thoughtful was that, the market makers, to give us all that time? And then we ripped up. Remember, we got up here and was like, well, it's going to do what it's going to do. Chop, 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 chop. Whee! And then we said, it's not done by any weakness now, because we saw that it was starting to like ascend in the 20-day. Here you go, 20-day. In current, if you're listening, remember I was talking like once you get the trend in your favor, now you can really start punching the absolute crap out of a trade because the trend is your friend. Here's the pullback to the 20-day. Get that. Take some profit. Look, there's your little novice gap / hammer. Pulls back. 20-day. Now, again, I'm making these sounds to hopefully make you laugh, but also make you realize, like, that's how excited you should have been. And then what do we talk about? Once the 20-day is over, nope, it got to the 200-day, made a higher high. This is where it was tricky. We're already gone. This blue box is where we're gone. Made a slightly higher high. Goodbye. Now what? It's not a goodbye, I don't think. I really think you're going to see that. You know, the no gap left behind kind of thing. Ooh, XDiv. I don't be surprised if you get down to 11, 12. Arrow. Again, copper. I mean, I think Wild Warrior, man, he likes copper. Trust me, if we're going to build out the future, it's going to have copper and a lot of silver. Well, nice bounce. I'm still waiting for this retest. Now it's got volume, right? Like, this looks good. Now, keep in mind the volume on this is what I'm more excited about. Is look at this. Can y'all see this? Can you put this in your watch list? Don't you think the candle of volume should be this one? It's this one. And then immediately what happened? I'm telling you, put Arrow on your list. Don't buy it because the market ain't done. But is that something that you see very clearly? Because here it is on CF. Here's the same repeating pattern. Drop down, big red, green candle, stopping power. Look, it took as long. I mean, keep in mind, bear market. Keeping bear market crap. Bank. Back near the highs. Well, versus like Mosaic. Look at this. Nowhere near the highs. What was the difference? Volume. I'm choking here because I feel like I say the same things here, and I think at some point my tongue is gonna dry up, and I'm gonna just again I'm a broken record. People come to the room, and this is why I'm asking, teach others this stuff. It's not that freaking hard. So again, Mosaic, we liked it, talked about it down here, it chopped us out and was like, screw that. It went up. Cool. Do you see ultimately why it was like so hard to sell these? Because if you knew the market was going higher, wouldn't this go higher? Do you guys see how this was like a mental struggle for me in trying to advise on it? I'm like, but then we looked at the SMH, right? Oh, I'll get the ExxonMobil. You just hold your horses, bro. Let's get into tech. AMD. Say every video, the buddy pass. There it is. Goldman Sachs, time to sell. Or time to buy, but all I hear is time to sell. That's how I read it. That's all I see. Look. I see this candle, and it makes my eyes turn red, actually, and it's not the edible. No, it's literally this. So now what? Look at this candle today. A lower high. You filled the gap. You closed at the low. Do you see how I have all these other pre-printed candles? I think that's what's coming next. Think about it, right? If you're like the basic bottom line technician, and your goal is higher highs, higher lows, what is this? Is that a lower high? Is that almost a lower low? I don't know. Again, it's probably heading south. SMH. I said this in yesterday's video. Like, this is what I wanted. If the SMH was really strong yesterday, it should have taken right back to the highs yesterday. That's why I started adding some of that at Soxus. I'm like, whatever. I think I'm hunting in the right area code. I think I have my shotgun out and not my BB gun. And then what happened today, right? Everybody pukes it. I mean, again, I use the Discord room as a great sentiment indicator of the people who know versus the people who don't. Again, it takes time to know. It's nothing personal. Trust me, there was somebody shorting every one of my trades when I was losing, when I was starting out. Just happened not to be a friend, maybe. Here you go. Look at that. Long wick came right back, closed at the close of yesterday. All right. Think about this. Think about this action. Is this a trap? A lower high? Do you see the volume? I mean, I see 3 candles in the last 4 days with all bigger volume since the end of July, and they're all red. Clear? Are we clear? Now here you go. Remember, point of control. Always start out on the monthly. Do we see all these wicks and candles that close in this? It's kind of crazy. You literally... And I apologize. I did not expect that to happen because, I mean, I honestly... That's why I was so... when I'm looking at it today, I'm like... Ugh, if I'm not shorting here, the evidence doesn't say I'm wrong, though. Do people understand that? That's why you had to zoom out. I know a lot of people were thinking about this stuff, and then, as soon as the market started probing up in the morning, I'm like, I got to look at the monthlies here. I got to start looking at some of this stuff and zoom out myself and look. Is it that hard? You know how we what they say, hindsight's 20/20. Well, what if you had hindsight all the time and could control your emotions? Even I'm not perfect. I'm kind of scared this morning. What the is going on? 2 for 2? Now the PPI is hot and it's coming to the markets lower? No. Does that make sense why we think this is going lower? Does anybody see why I'm like, well, that looks much easier. This is tech. You want to short oil? We'll get into it. Or do you want to short tech? The monthly, the point of controls, they all look right. And if everything goes wrong, great. Everything goes wrong here. Apple. What have we said about Apple? Well, what have we said? Well, if you're newer to the channel, what we talk about, the bull market or bear market rallies typically blow out of the top first. Why is it so hard for Apple to top? Because the narrative is so convincing that it's what? It's always going higher. Right? I mean, this is probably, it hasn't gone up as much as Tesla, right? But this is the thing about Apple, is even in 2008, 2009, man, this is crazy how many times. What did it drop from 8 down to, I guess it did drop pretty big. I don't know. To me, I don't know about you guys, but I always thought Apple was making better and better products in the 2000s. Can we all agree on that? That might be a little confusing now that, like everyone believes that they're always making the next best product. Can we all agree now that they don't? They literally just copy Samsung. Their products are overpriced. They're still good. I mean, you're trapped in the ecosystem, but at some point, right? If the crap in Taiwan is really what it is, and honestly, let's be real. If it's a bear market, this isn't going to hold up. So what does it do? It pops over the top and chops. Pops over the tops and chops. Everyone's like, where's the volume up here? Well, the volume doesn't really come until the end, right? Because that's the puking. Think about it. The market maker is liquidating his jolly way all the way up, reshorting a little bit, squeezing it, jolly his way up, short, sell, whatever. All right, here we go. Novice gap. Think about what we just said with like gold and silver. Novice gaps precede the pro gap potentially. Now this is where it can be difficult, is like it knows people like me, people like you now, see this and go, ooh, game over. Well, look what it did. 3 days down and then blew us out. If you were shorting that, right? The market knows that we know certain repeating patterns. Like that's why this is really hard sometimes, is like you have to see. I don't know if you've ever thought about the market like this, but trust me when I say this, like if you know the market well enough and the market is trying to take your money, it sometimes will do what? It'll position itself to do the opposite of what seems right. Even to the professionals, even to, again, I don't consider my professional. I'm sorry. I'm not a billionaire. So no, I'm not running big money. But I will say that, like, we know the market, right? We're not stupid. We don't read Play Trader magazine. We look at the formation and go, that looks right. And then it goes, gone. Well, now what? Here we're into this gap formation and chop. I don't know if Apple is going to collapse tomorrow. I'd love for it to. But if it doesn't, are you still going to be worried? I mean, Scott, if you're still here, do you not remember? I mean, I don't know. I can't recognize everyone's names other than people I know personally. Do you not remember? Everyone's like, you're crazy, man. Short an Apple up here. It's gone straight. I'm like, do you not realize it went up more like 12 straight days? Well, now like zoom out to this action, and it's like, oh my God. Oh boy. Oh my. Look at that. Right? Look at that thing. 130 up to 170. I mean, if you can't get excited about shorting Apple in this, and if it's a bear market, right? And you see that Apple run higher and higher, higher. It's like the Jessie Livermore, like, oh, no one will short Reading Railroad. And it's like, oh, he will. Because when he knows it's done, it's done. But look at it. Here it comes right back into the monthly. What the fuck? Like, this is by far one of the better acting stocks. Not as good as IBM, but do you see my point, though? It's right back there. And at the top, what is it? Go look at StockTwits. If you're from StockTwits, go look at it. I guarantee there's 100 comments an hour. Bullish, 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 dividend, buyback, bullish, dividend, buyback, dividend, buyback, dividend, buyback, buyback, dividend. Play Trader magazine. That's what I mean. So now what? You're at 170. You're at the downtrend. I mean, I think Silver Sleuth and a few others shorting Apple, Roth, maybe. I'm like, guys, like this is like like slip the turkey into the oven. Christmas dinner is coming, or Thanksgiving dinner. Like, it's gonna take some time. Just let it freaking cook. No, but Apple's bullish. Okay, the market's about to turn. This ain't bullish. It's not gonna somehow like defy the laws of gravity. Meta. Holy crap! Someone else was. I mean, I'm really happy when you guys point out these trades. That's why I'm trying to teach you. And someone's like, "Hey, look at Meta double top." Thank you, sir. Gone. Look at that. I mean, you love when it's that easy, right? Remember I talk about like a third of the time you're right, third of the time it's early, third of the time it's late. Those are your favorite trades. If there's anybody still listening, can you acknowledge that? Like that's when it's like so easy, and you're like, wow, I'm really good. No. It was just that easy sometimes. There it is. Like the freaking Staples easy button. That was easy. You always wish they're like that. And look at it now. Closes back in the inside candle. Oh man, I don't think anyone's listening. Oh, we're going to get into all of that. Again, like I'm not in a rush. My wife is at dinner with a friend, so she'll be back in like 2 hours. Now what? We're going to get to all this stuff. I'm just taking my sweet time because if you're really one of the people who's involved in this Discord room and you struggled today, this is your medicine. This is my medicine. If I was someone else, I'd be, man, crazy how hard this can be to new people. I get it. All right, NVIDIA. Speaking of Wild Warrior, and again, not picking on him, he was like, I'm waiting for the gap to fill. What? Oh, the gap's going to fill. Oh, man, this has got all sessions. Whatever. You see where the gap is right here? 188.23. What did we talk about? Medicine. I like that one. What did we talk about? How do you reach my mentor and coach? Ah, that's funny. Look at this. It tried to fill the gap, and it didn't. We said short arm all day, right? Now we zoom in. Let's take it to where the money is made. I already have a line there, which means this must be old as well. I said, remember I started shorting like the low, mid 185s, got stopped out, went a little higher, and then I reshorted? Do y'all remember that today? Like I told you, I got in, I got stopped out, and it came back. And I was like, I'm going again. I didn't wait for the gap to fill. Again, not to be like picking on Wild Warrior, but that's what I was saying. Like, dude, I don't know if you're going to get there because now look at the market. And then what did you see on the 10-minute on this thing, right? Gap and go. No, I'm just kidding. It got up there. And here, again, here's your trigger. Remember we talk about 2 candles, lower lows? V-top, engulfing bar. I think Swing Trader was like, engulfing bar. I'm like, yeah. Came back up. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. So do you see how sometimes like they pull it right back? You know, it's like playing hard to get. Like, yeah, you know, whatever. Then you're like, yeah, I'm really into it. Well, that's that kind of feel here where it did that. And I'm like, okay. And then here it goes. That was a nice, I mean, what are we, 8 points on this thing? 186 is 160, 186, 50. Got down to here. Yeah, 8 points. And now look at the daily. And what's kind of scary is I bought short dated puts. Not this week's, but shorter day. Because I'm like, I think the trend's about to start. But here you go. This is why you can do that with NVIDIA. Right? Bad news. Bull market. Again, it can hold up. Right? Held the 20-day. Oh, then it went lower. Then it came back. Now again, if it's strong, why were there so many people looking to sell at the highs? Does that make sense? Like, let's not think about what I want, what you want. Why did it get up near the gap, couldn't get into the gap, and then eventually faded? That wasn't mom and pop reading Play Trader magazine. Jesus Christ. Look at the monthly again. Back testing the old trend line in 0.382. What is that? No, that's not the right one. Let me redraw this. This has to be coming from the past. Nope, that came out of nowhere. Well, how did it draw like that? Oh, it's probably from all the splits. Sometimes I have to readjust the lines. All right, so here you go. Here's the bottom one. You can see that as clear as day, right? I don't even have to do the freaking blue bar. I think you can see it. Again, people are like, you can see this stuff so easy. It's like, dude, I spent like weeks just looking for it all day. I guess it's not as easy as I thought. Maybe that's it. None of these could close over it, and this was like the cap. People are like, oh, you're stretching for the line. It's like, well, I'm trying to find what looks like the right one. And then again, now it's interesting. It's like a nice little channel barrel. Like, all right, stop it. Thank you. Maybe it should back off. Now, the big thing again, what do we talk about the monthly for tech stuff? It's under the 20-month. It can't, unless again, if there really is a bull market, I'm going to apologize profusely. Again, we will stop out way before we get our asses kicked, because we'll probably be out by next week if the bull market is really starting, and we'll take a couple weeks off if we have to just to watch. I still don't think that'll happen, but if we're under the 20-month, like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, the weak need to act weak. And speaking of weak, I mean, it's like, fine, I'll talk about it. Tesla. Hope you guys are having fun. Like I said, this is way easier for me to teach you guys than trying to type a bunch of crap on the Discord room. Look at this thing. Backing up. It has broken the up channel. It's holding the 20-month, but it's broken the up channel. I look at this chart, and I'm not scared of heights, but I actually think I need a parachute when I look at it. And I'm dead serious. Like, the people who want to buy this, it scares the crap out of me. Because, I mean, if you look at the stock, other than Bitcoin, I've never seen a stock act so strong with like literally zero fundamentals. Like, keep in mind, like, trading at 1,000 times earnings, more valuable than every single car company in the world combined, and yet you want to buy. And say you, probably not many here, but the people who continuously ask me, I own Tesla. This is another thing that scares the crap. Everybody I know who owns Tesla is not a good investor. They are terrible traders. And they're all in that stuff. I hope people realize, like, that's scary, man. Like, literally. And some of these people are actually my friends. Yeah, retail buys Elon. Elon sells. Exactly. It's crazy. And those same people who I'm like, again, it's like, you know, pretend you're a bookie, and every time they bet on a game, you're like, they lose. I'll take your bet all day. That's what the market maker's like. All right, you guys love Tesla. Again, think about the psychology. It's too valuable, too expensive, too expensive, too expensive, too expensive, too valuable. It doesn't make sense. Okay, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense, but let's buy it. Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. We got to buy it. It's still way overvalued. It's still, oh my God, you got to buy this thing. Do y'all see how literally this thing is, it's got people's minds twisted. For one point, I still remember where every person in the world thought it was overvalued. Do y'all remember that? Do you guys remember that? Like at a certain point, like everybody agreed it was overvalued. I want to see 3 yeses. Does everybody remember when it was overvalued and no one thought the stock was worth even whatever a tenth of it was today? Do y'all remember that? That should have been the sign that we got on long this thing. Well, hindsight's 2020 will remember this situation because I'd never seen anything like it. Now it's overvalued. It's absolutely overvalued. That same narrative, and it's just going lower, but now people are like, it can't go lower. Hey, Bob, it can't go lower. Hey, you drive Uber. What do you think of Tesla? Love it. Hey, man, what do you do for a living? Dabble in stocks. Do you own Tesla? Do you own Tesla? I mean, I'm at an open house the other day, and guys like, oh, you trade stocks? I'm like, what's your favorite stock? Tesla. There's a new realtor on here. She's in the Discord. I'm like, what are you talking about? What's your interest? What's your favorite, stock? She's like, Tesla. She's like, I'm going to dollar cost average it all the way down. I don't know if somebody saw the conversation in the beginner chat, but I want to blow my brains out. If she's in here, it's not mean, but it'd be like the opposite situation. Like you're a real estate agent advising me as a client. I'm like, I want to buy that house for $1. Hey, Bill. Hey, I want to buy that house for $1. And you're like, no. You smile like that meme with that African guy with the big teeth. He smiles. He's like, okay. I don't even know why I'm ranting on this, but it just makes me laugh. People want to buy it, and I get literally the dumbest people. That's the wrong word. They're not dumb. They're just easily tricked by the market. They don't know. Then the NDAQ. All right. This one. And I think, who was it? Justice, Jay Stuss or whatever. He was like, I think I see what you're seeing when you're waiting for NDAQ to turn over. I'm like, yeah, I got cheap puts. I'm down 50% on them. I got a lot of them. They expire in September. You know what I mean? What's next, Dan? What do you think you're seeing? I'm like, I think I'm seeing like the curling, the cresting wave kind of formation. The volume is just painfully dying. Painfully dying, right? Like here it is up at the high, painfully dying. Do you see this? Like, do you consider this conviction? It got up here painfully, just here you go, started dying. It's like, do you see what's going on here? Like, there's no one left to buy. The market makers are just holding it up. And again, if the market rolls, then this thing just goes, look at this thing. Surfs up. Maui, Big Kahuna, whatever. And think about the time on this. This was July. That's 1 month. April. Oh, hold on. May 19th. Let's stay here. April 19th. 1 month. Yes. When the elevator opens, this thing will be like 1 month, and you can be aware it's not as liquid, so the options are harder, and if you're trading the stock, there's not as much shares available, whatever. This thing is an absolute nosediver. Like, if I could make the submarine dive sound, that's what it would be. That's what it is. Does this make sense now? Like, why I'm like itching? It's almost like the XOP. Yeah, we're early. It's gonna go. It's like, whatever. You're way too high and drunk. You're gonna collapse and fall on your face. Roblox. Was it crazy that we thought 50 was coming? I look back at this and go, why couldn't I have just held just a little longer? We couldn't be patient. But there was other stuff to trade. We not all agreed there was better stuff until the last minute when this thing went, because this was pretty painful. Like, I can't stay in this when the market's ripping higher. We all agree, like, this is like the silver and gold of trading when it goes nowhere and the market's going higher. Like, I got to get out and move on. Should have came back. But what did we eventually say? Did we not say the 50s were coming? Point of control, top of the inventory zone. Now what? Uh-oh. Long candle. We'll see. Now, again, remember they had their earnings and it bought back. And I think their earnings were... This is why I always tell people, like, I mean, you can read their earnings report, and I don't know how you got it to do this. I don't know. But it did that. Because, again, if it's a rising market, that's where it's like yesterday had me, like, very nervous, just as everyone else should be. Like, uh-oh, something's going here. Like, you know when you're in the trap, right? Could you analyze planner? I know I can't. No. Okay, I'll do it at the end, though. It's going to be at the end. You better remind me. I'm not deviating. Because people know the numbers or the order approximately. Microsoft. I almost you guys almost let me walk right by that one. This is one of my biggest shorts. Look at the point of control. Just getting right about over. Here you go. All this volume. We see it. Let's pull up the monthly. Yeah, I like planner way low. I don't like it at any point now. Does anyone look at this and go, wow, that's sustainable? Oh, yeah, that's like this right here. Like, let's just take this iteration and pretend it's this. What does that look like? Okay. And remember, high at 59, got back down to 22, and this thing went nowhere for at least, 14 years? 2014, sorry, 16 years. And then you look at it and you're like, man, this thing is on Viagra. Cialis, and what's the other one? It's like the ladies' man. Take two, and if you don't get a boner, call more girls, or whatever he says. If you don't have a boner in 3 hours, call more girls. Y'all remember that line? It's something like that from the ladies' man. Tim Meadows is the man. Levitra, yeah. Look at this thing. Now you're back at the, how big do you want this blue to be? Yeah, here it goes. It's another May high touch. It looks just like SMH, right? I don't know what to tell you guys, like, how excited I am about shorting this. And remember, what did we say? Listen to their conference call. They whined and complained, and they said, this dollar really caused our earnings miss. And everybody's like, okay. Now what? Here you are. You look up it. Now, remember, the volume is just, this is like scary. This isn't conviction. Here you go. Open the high. Well, it's like the arrows knew it was coming. How did I? No, that's the last video. My bad. I did this for an hour previously. Open high, close low. If you guys think I have a journal or a script when I do this, I don't. This is all live, and I've taken notes, but I don't look at it. I like to see it again, like I don't know it's coming. Yes, like they don't hedge the dollar, but ultimately what? We'll see. I mean, is Bill Gates, is he a trader? Do you think he's buying the dollar? Do you think he believes in the dollar milkshake theory? Anybody? I don't know. Point being, maybe it's an ag play. Maybe I'm not thinking about this right. Maybe no, never mind. He doesn't own it. Open high, close low. What you want to see, it's always going to be in the past. Oh, what did you just do, damn it? You want to see that gap to start it. Let's get the party started. Doesn't have to be big. Get the gap to get started. The bigger one's better, right? Like that to you, that gets me excited. If I added the grunting sounds just because I thought it was part of my journal, that would be hours of script writing. I'm not that creative. Y'all see what's coming? Is it any clear? But yeah, let's go buy gold in Tesla. I mean, we'll be patient. All right, where are we at now? Meadows, MSMH, EXPI. Give me one more. Let's do the let's do the planner, because again, it's tech. Since you guys, whatever, doesn't matter. This is about you guys. All right, who wanted me to look at this? Do you know what this is called? Pretend this was a penny stock. This is called what? The pump and dump. One big monster up, flop right back. Now what? It's back at the old IPO price. Think about all of the people trapped. This is what gets scary about stocks like this. Let's just go back to it. Think about the months of people here. Pretend this is you, right? You and I bought the stock at 25. How long is it going to take to wear off everybody that's like, fuck this stock? Excuse my language, but that's how I'd feel if I owned it. Because again, now I'm like turning myself into that person. I'd be absolutely pissed. I still held it. Every pop is looking for a sell. So do you want to own it down here in a bear market? Swing trade speculation? How about nowhere? What if that's the best answer? What if it just, again, has demand, but so many assholes are like, I still own this stock. Why do I own this stock? Why did I keep it? What am I thinking? I'm an idiot. Get down again. That's the point. I mean, here you go. Like the swing trade, like I don't even want to buy. I mean, again, this is a great example. Thanks for bringing this up, and I'm not like picking on you, but like I would not buy this. Like, I mean, I guess 6 to 11. That's a great trade. No one's gonna argue that, right? It just, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's not falling. Think about it. The trash floats last. We talk about that. Well, it rallied from 6 to 11. So somebody's going to go, great. I just saw a rumor they're partnering up with Amazon. Cool. Well, guess what? Then why is it dropping? You ever ask yourself that? If that's the rumor, buy the rumor, sell the news, why is it going lower? I know you want to speculate. Trust me, we all want to speculate, but I just don't want to do... Again, this is why people are like, you should talk more about the meme stocks. I'm like, I have no clue where the fuck they're going. I don't... If a stock doesn't follow the market, then I can't use the market as a reference. So now I'm making it real hard. I might as well be just like, hey, do you want to read tarot cards and see what pops up? Do I want to roll dice? Things that don't follow the market are harder to trade. Think again, what would lead... Yes, leaders. That's what Livermore talks about. That's literally what has made me into I am today, because I stopped fucking around with stupid stuff. I mean, and that's the thing. So, planter, you want to know where I think it's going? I really think it's going nowhere. If that really is a rumor that they're going to get bought out, then if I'm the market makers, I want to bring it down, honestly, right? And if it is really going higher, that at some point should pop up. But it's going to be a fight against the market, right? Like trying to figure out what's the next buyout target in this market. I mean, isn't it easier just to potentially short it? Yeah, made me want to short tips. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know you personally, and I'm not trying to be mean, but like, if someone gives me a tip like this and they say that's the rumor and it doesn't go higher, then I know if it is the rumor, then the market makers probably want to take it back down if the market's dropping. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible without overkill. And I'm doing a ton of overkill right now. IBM. This is a stock that we talk about since November. It's actually up. This is strong. Now, again, I mean, do you want to... could it... Yeah, I mean, it can go. But do you want to short stocks or do you want to buy IBM? I mean, this is, again, where I think it's hard. Yeah, the thinking process is, again, my thinking process is just leave it alone. Now, that's not the answer most people think of. I want to follow stocks that follow the market. I want the stocks that lead the market. I want stocks where I can use the references from the Qs and the SPYs and the leaders of the market to know, like, is it going higher or lower? If I need to, like, worry about takeover rumors in a bear market, I don't know. We talked about UTHR being one. We'll get there in a second, right? EXPI, just real quick for the order. Here's a stock. And hey, think about this. Like, this is a great company. I work for them. I have insider knowledge. We are doing amazing. We've gone from like the 10th biggest brokerage to the 3rd in the last like 3 years. And we continue to add agents every month. Look at the stock. let's put back the angry voice. Gosh damn it. There's so many agents I know that have stocks sitting there. I keep telling them that it's a option at this point. It's like a call option. You hope it works out. But do you see? I don't want to like fight with that, because if you read Livermore book, you talk about stocks that make new highs have no resistance. Stocks that have previous highs much above have to work off tons of resistance from what? The people who are stuck. I love it's crazy to me sometimes how badly, like, I had to learn this the hard way. Like, the fundamentals, when they don't matter anymore, they literally don't matter at all. It makes you think, do they even matter? And it's like, well, they kind of matter, and then they don't. So then what do you start realizing? Throw it in the trash. Who cares? UTHR. We talked about this being a buyout target. Not on the monthly. Double bottom, stopping power, huge volume. Double bottom, right? Gap down. This was, I think, their earnings or something. Double bottom on some whatever news. Vink up. Look what it does. Up, pulls back to the breakout. Remember we talk about like that pull back to the breakout sometimes. That's why you don't chase. You got to be careful when you chase a breakout. Look, head and shoulders, right back down here, bouncing here. But does this not look like the right shoulder? The books are all in the Discord room. The audiobook's amazing for Livermore. Again, you can watch it on YouTube or you can buy it off there, and I'll get a 30 cents referral. Either way, it's basically it's support me or take it for free. I don't care. Just know what it is, so that when we talk about it, you're like, got it. Because that guy was the billionaire. He was the Buffett of Buffetts, but he was a trader before his wife killed his son. That's pretty tragic. Pretty crazy story. Anyway, what do you see here, right? Like, that's not strong. Would you agree that's not, if you look at the market in the last, month, what is it doing? We all not agree it's doing the opposite? That's what I was telling folks. Like, if you didn't sell up here, I got bad news for you, potentially. Look at this day here. Big, long wick. Look at that monster-ass wick. Cut right up to, right back. Again, lower. This is, again, what's going to be difficult. Names with low floats are easily to manipulate. Very easy to manipulate. All right, let's get through an oil and be done with this. And if you guys want, I'll spout off another 2 or 3 tickers at the end. Oil. Again, what do we talk about in the USO? Again, this is why I like trading the hours that I trade. Looking at the futures is important, but not as important for me, because no one agrees with this, and that's fine. I want to be aware of what happened during the hours I was awake. What happened over, I don't care about people who aren't trading my time zone. Oh, but you should trade overnight futures. Well, no, I don't really care. No, because then I won't sleep, and I haven't when I did. But the action isn't as important to me as what I was going to do during my time awake. Shorting it up here. Now, if I told you this was the best short, and you've now watched this video, what do you think? Based on everything we said. Terrorist potential shit, Libya stuff, Ukraine stuff, global uncertainty. A hurricane could roll up any week now. Yeah, it does look like a big monster. Complex as hell, head and shoulders. At this point, I'd leave it alone. Again, it's like planner. Like, I think you could make up a trade. This is why the market gets people so hard. You can make up a trade if you look at a chart hard enough. Like, that's what people do. I've done that. Haven't you looked at something and you're like, I think that's going higher. And then you come back and you're like, I think it's going higher. And then you come back and go, yeah, it's going higher. And then it doesn't. And you're like, you go back and you look at it and go, oh man, that was just pure ego. Is there any stock I'm bullish on at this point? Leveraged bearish ETFs? Question mark? No. Think about it. A bear market is a trader's market. When it's going up and the bear market rallies, you go long. When a bear market continues, why would I want to go long anything? I mean, do you want to find the needle in the haystack, or do you just want to like take the whole haystack? I don't know. I mean, that's like which will be easier to load up in your, pick up a handful of hay or try to find the needle, I guess, maybe the better analogy. It's back up here. I still think it could get up here. Like, right? If it had complexness of that, like maybe this is the reference in the 80s. Shorting it today, you are so far between swing points, I have no clue. Does that make sense? Like when you're in the middle of the range in a super choppy thing, that pretend like this is Roblox. I'm like, I can't even like fathom what the next direction is, because if I don't know which way, Is it going to go up if the market goes down, or is it going to go down if the market goes down? Again, this is going to give you a headache trying to think about this. Like, take the headache out. Like, if it doesn't seem that easy, move on. Absolutely move on. UNG. Man, some people really want to gamble and short it, and I get it. We talked about it. Getting up into this zone, maybe it's another double top. And everyone's like the Hisman Hers, the Golden Arches, the double top, whatever you want to call it. Is this the lower high? I don't know. But what if this is a head and shoulders, right? What if it invalidates? Remember what we talked about? Like if you get a head and shoulders patterns that is invalidated? Oh my God. I'm sorry, I just drew that and it just lined up. I promise you I didn't notice that until I just looked at it for like 2 seconds. Well, look where it hit. Cool. What if this is actually going higher? Because it could actually springboard huge. Maybe this is what causes rates to go even higher and the Feds to be like, fuck. We don't know. Do you want to short this or do you want to short tech? The answer should be so easy now. Hopefully it makes sense. Like, this is hard stuff. Like, I don't want to make trading hard. It's already extremely hard. Do you want to add layers of complexity? Do you need to study the dark pools? Do you need to study the option sweeps? Do you need to study all this intraday crap that helps you predict the market for 3 minutes? Or do you want to look for the stuff that makes sense, that's easy on the bigger time frames? I will do easier on the bigger time frames all day. XOP. All right, here, if you want to stick around and hear this, about this story, how this all was one of our best and worst trades, I go out of town, it drops, and it starts rallying, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to let it go, because what do I know about XOP and oil? What do I know? It's come from the 30s up to $1.70. I think Valero was trading at 27 times earnings, which is crazy, because I think they make a penny on their earnings. I could be wrong. That may have changed, but here we go. I mean, this thing just went higher, higher, higher. Outside day. And again, it wasn't even that bearish. That's what was crazy. It's like, I don't know. But do you know when we did know? This big-ass monster professional gap. Game over. But look what it did. You know how we talk about, like, you can watch the chop. And remember, I don't know if everybody can remember this comment, because a lot of people, I said, if we get a big gap down in the market, use the gap, the high, as a reference later. That's what I was saying. So if like the SPY gaps down, say we all got puts here, right? We're all hanging out. Big professional gap down, take some off on the extreme, and then use the top of the candle as the reference, right? Because here it is. So like if it's actually the bottom, here you go. This is pretty fucking wild. Use this area as the reference, right? Like the gap. Like use that as the reference. Let me see if I can find another one for y'all real quick. Gap down, here you go. Here is the reference. Like that. So take some off. It goes lower. Then here it comes back. Use the gap as the reference. Because it usually what? A gap is a short-term extreme as well, potentially. But what is that difference is that sometimes with gaps in the way that they're positioned, they might be multi-day events, but not trend changes, right? So that's why it's like pro or novice gap. Well, you don't really know until it just keeps going. But if you know the market's bearish, see how like if the market's bearish, oil should go down at that time. You see how like if you add more layers of complexity, you don't feel confident about this. Because remember, the XOP is not oil. It's not oil. ExxonMobil. Anyway, the story went well. You saw it went down to the 110s or something like that, 105s. Here we go, back into this blue. It's annoying me. What was the actual price? What was the low? I think it was. So we're talking about getting out. What are we talking about? Like down here, 117. I think it got down to 107. Yeah. Oops. We got out here. The biggest volume, longest wick. It did bounce, but just didn't want to come back. Started really shorting heavily here, and still did okay because it got down to here. That was a big fuck up on my part. Out of town, knowing. Here, I'll show you again why. The biggest trade of my life had influence over my mindset of this trade. Right. The past is super crazy how it affects your present, right? Like you live in it sometimes. I thought this was coming because this was the best trade I've ever had. Oil in 2008. Do you see that? Do you see that? So if this is what you think was going to happen in your mind because of a recession, this whole chop top is like not as fun. But also it should tell you what longer term, if oil when it bounces, it's probably stronger. Does that also make sense too? We talked about the commodity bull market that's coming. Oil should come back. ExxonMobil, and then we'll get into whatever ASTS is. Here you go. You're back up at this like blue bar. We'll see what happens. Now, this is the thing again about oil. Do you want to make it tough? I've always told people, I mean, I've said this, I think I started saying this in like early spring. Even though it went higher, I was like, I will watch it when it back tests the trend line. I was like, in the 20-day and all this converge. And it'll probably be 70s, which isn't a huge drop. But if oil's going higher, it should hold up, right? And drop less. Same thing with like gold and silver. Like there's really not much further these things can go down. But they have to go down before they go up. Same thing with uranium. Does that make sense why we like this stuff long term? Tech is overlooking the absolute abyss, while the commodity names have been in the abyss. Like they got flushed down the toilet. They're in the septic tank looking to wake up. Everything else is high fly, goodbye when it's done. AT or ASTS. I'm probably going to shred your stock, man. I'm just telling you now. But if it's awesome, I will absolutely tell you it is. Aerospace Mobile. AST Space Mobile. Again, don't need to know the fundamentals. Because we know what? They don't matter. You have puts. Where did you get puts? If you don't mind me asking. Mr. James. I'm just going to draw while you're talking, typing. Let's see if I can easily see the point of control. Today at the top. Oh. Well, fuck, man. You should teach the class. Tell me why you did it. I'm trying to figure out why it would stop there. I don't see it on the monthly. Oh, hold on. Okay, you couldn't close there. You couldn't close there. You looked above it and failed. Look above it and failed. Look below it. Yeah, okay. I think I can see that. You took it today at the top. I don't know. Well, that's rather excellent. Okay. I feel like this is one of those penny stocks where you go, oh, okay, sell the news. Well, great. Well, then, yeah, it should go down. I guess, I mean, this is the hardest thing about these penny stocks. Look at the volume in this. Like, I don't have a really good reference. Clearly, this is light volume, right? It was a SPAC. Oh, well, damn. That's all I had to say. Short it. Absolutely short it. But again, remember, you can only go to 0. Right? At this point, I would say you're probably going to get back to 9 real quick, right? Like, pretend like that's... I don't know if some of y'all seen me do this, but I like to draw trend lines with, like, little bits of width. No, that's not it. With a little bit of width. Because then I can encapsulate all of the little in-betweens. Like the short arms of it and the exacts. If you don't do this on your charts, I'm telling you, if you are actually looking for the trend without trying to be drawing straight lines with a freaking ruler, this really helps you kind of see, all right, if I had to guess, and I guess I can really pull it back to like this, somewhere in the low 9s. I hope that helps, James. Now, again, that's just looking at it from real quick. I typically, again, I only trade leaders because I trust leaders. This isn't a leader, obviously. It's a SPAC, and so to me, I think there's a few guys in the Discord room like last year. I think they all left because I said SPACs are going to get flushed down the toilet at some point. It's a sign of excessive gambling and risk. And literally, they were buying anything. It's like when people are buying real estate, 100,000 over. You're like, this is gonna settle out at some point. Well, maybe SPACs do survive, but they go to the floor first. Hope that helps. Any other questions? I mean, you got me here. I mean, what time is it? I got 5 more minutes. That's all I need. I'll give you 5 minutes. What do you want to see? Pull out the stupidest stocks. Maybe we'll find something. Not stupid, but like stupid, like, I don't know. I don't pay attention. Like, people say, like, you don't know what's always popular. I'm like, no, I just try to stick to what I trust. Because if I don't trust a stock, it's really hard to invest in it heavily. Usually it takes a little bit of knowing it. That's why my list is pretty extensive, and it's much actually longer than this. If you go look at my charts, D-Dog. Oh, God, if I feel like I remember this one. Yeah, my charts have a lot more tickers on the big computer. I've got like 300 of them. Data dog. Can you see it? Can you see it? Why am I doing that? Yep, data dog. Looking to short if it pops again. What do you mean if it pops again? Target around software Reddit. Oh, is this a software Reddit favorite? Okay. Well, I mean, do I have to even look at the chart to know it's probably a good short on that recommendation? Again, I'm just going to draw and see if things float up. Sorry for the quietness, but it takes just a minute for me to kind of look at this and just see what I feel like I think I see. It's close enough for government work. Yeah, hey, retest. Again, if this is like one of those stupid... No, it's not. I always use stupid because that's how I thought. I look at myself, I was stupid when I used to trade and not know what the fuck was going on. This one, I think if it gets a little higher, I think that's a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. Like if it does get a little higher, because that trend was pretty damn close. Or you say it's got to, like, okay, whatever happens at the gap, that's what I'd be watching. And not the gap down here. I'm talking about like this little area right here. I'd use 113, 114. That's what I look at. Oh, I forgot XBI. Holy crap, by the way. If you left, too bad. Now the movie rolls on. Look at that. That's what I'd be looking for. If it gets below it, it should probably go lower, at least fill the gap. If it's done, and this is a bear market, and this is a momentum name that's loved by Reddit, probably takes a break at the 88 area, and then I can guarantee it's probably going to go back down to the IPO price, minimum. That's just how the bear markets work. They go much lower than you think, and and bull markets go much higher. XBI, this was when they make it easy. Now we talked about like meta, just a little touch and feel of cotton. Look at this crap. Big up green candle followed by a huge green volume candle anomaly. We drop. We come right back. The touch, the feel of cotton. Again, when it's that easy. Like, that's what you want. You see, we're trying to look for the easy stuff, and it's not always easy, but here it is. Here's the point of control in the blue, right? It's this area. Again, this is a what? This is a stock twits favorite. All right, XRT. I'll get that one in a second. The real estate ETF. Yeah, look at this. It goes all the way back, and I try to explain to people, like, it's going to be a beautiful thing. Biotech struggle because they need money. In a bear market with liquidity and higher rates, nobody's gambling. And unless they're lending them money at 15%. Now everyone becomes a loan shark to baby bio. That's just how it goes. XRT. And then I'm done. Y'all remember this when it was just last year because of all the stimulus crap? It just could not. Like, as soon as, what was it? Look at this. I remember right after COVID, it was like all that stimulus money was like, zing! I think that's when GameStop actually hit its max, right? Someone confirmed this with me, but I'm pretty sure this is like the day GameStop peaked because it was one of the names in the XRT. Took it up. Talk about purgatory, right? You see why, like, if you're in a stock that's not moving, you just move on? That sucks. Like, imagine all of last year you own this, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna buy the shit out of this, and I'm gonna make a ton of money. It's a bull market. No, you Rip Van Winkle, dude. You went to sleep and you woke up and it's the same price, and you just aged. That's all. Now what? Well, it's a bear market, so this thing is coming back down to what it does in bear markets. Now again, what do we always say? Start on the monthly, sir. I mean, it went from what, 22. Now remember, this rebalances down to 8. I mean, I think XRT at some point trades in the 20 handle. right? It's probably coming down into the 20s. I mean, that's just, do you see how we talk about the straight line move ends the move? Like, look what it did for months up here. Like, the market maker was like, absolutely not. Think of Lord of the Rings. You shall not pass, or whatever. And he stomps the cane. And he's like, the light goes on and everybody instantly dies. That's what the market maker did to this thing. And now they're playing the game, right? Plug. Dude, I still remember when Plug was like the trash of trash. I mean, again, this is how old I am. This is what I think of Plug. You guys think of Plug. This is what I think of Plug. You guys are like the next iteration of the same kind of stupidity. Do you want to buy the stock? I don't know who even running management now, but it's one of those things. Like, they probably issuing a ton of shares. I don't know anything about Plug anymore. I don't pay any attention to it. I guarantee they're probably issuing a bunch of shares. They're promising some great future, and the stock is now the retail hype of retail hype. Plug had trash earnings and 3 lawsuits for lying to shareholders, insider trading. It's still pumped. They're the same guys. How the hell did they keep their job? They must have the same fucking management. Wow. Maybe it's like their kids. That is the funniest shit I've heard all day. Thank you for letting me know that, because I don't want to. I don't have the time to do it, but I would love to go see who's running the company versus now versus then. What if this is some sort of like Succession movie or TV show like HBO? What the man? It's just doing a smaller amount, and I don't know who's buying it. Someone said it's Poppy. Yeah. Again, I don't know. The fundamentals to me aren't surprised. Don't surprise me that they would do something like this. Remember, in a market, the market can be more irrational than you can be stay solvent, and that's the reality here. Andrew Marsh, I'm telling you, it's got to be the same. Like, someone else was like, knew this game. You can't make this stuff up. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, imagine seeing this stuff for 20 years. You would hope at some point I'm not deaf, dumb, and stupid. Like, I can't see anything. I mean, I've made every mistake. I don't ever deny that. But look at this. Like, here you go. Here's your point of control. It's this 29 area. What did we say? Where's SJ? You in here, man? Talk about the trash always floats last in a bear market rally. The trash floats last. The trash floats last. Well, again, this is scary. If you've ever seen the movie It, they're like, they all float. You know, they all float. What is the line? Is like something like that, right? The dead bodies all float. Well, here you go. The dead bodies all float at the end. So think of It, aka the market maker, is just like, yeah, come on in. Come on, little kid. Play with this little, was it a paper boat? I don't know. They all float down here. Thank you. Yes, they all float down there. All right, well, any more? I guess I could do one more if this is funny. Someone say BBW. Is that Buffalo Wild Wings? No. Build-A-Bear. That's what I was like. What do you want to know about this stock? I mean, I feel like I feel like I'd hate myself if I traded this. From 15 to 22. Zoom out. Okay. I will zoom out. I will zoom out. What do you see? Zoom, zoom, zoom out. Broke a downtrend, maybe? $2008. I mean, yeah, it should probably, Build-A-Bear? I mean, isn't that the Vermont company that sends you stuffed bears for Valentine's? What did they get into, slinging drugs in these fluffy bears? Fluffy stuffed bears? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, again, like, but do you want to short this? I mean, you got the blessing to do it in your brain. Like, this looks logical, right? But is it gonna be easy? I don't know. Let's go look at the daily now. Like Breaking Bad, Build-A-Bear. Build-A-Bear Workshop, Breaking Bad. Say that 7 times. They were moving meth in Build-A-Bear bears out of Vermont. I mean, that actually makes sense. I don't surprised that Netflix hasn't done a series on this. Yeah, I mean, you know where the obvious, like, easiest short is here, Curran? It's like this 14 area. Like, think about it. Everybody who bought here, as soon as, I mean, set your alarm. Like, literally, go set your alarm. Take this off your, like put on your trade sheet, but bury it at the bottom and just set your alarm. Because if it breaks this price, I mean, it's literally going to open up like the Build-A-Bear workshop caught on fire and everyone's gonna die. Because that, to me, will do what, right? This will be years. Remember how we talk about the longer something does a holding pattern and then flips, the longer something stays in a constant trend, the bigger the like amplitude of the other direction. Well, if the opposite direction is up, is down, well, what's the opposite of stagnation? Intense move, right? The intense move is back down to $3, breaking 15. Probably going to 0 because it's going to go out of business because whatever, where's the company? The floral company, 1-800-Flowers just ate their cookies. I don't know. The strawberry company. I don't know. All those little things. XLE, man, you really guys got me on the clock here. I do enjoy this though. Because again, you look through the whole market, you can see everything looks wrong. Oh shit. Yeah, XLE, look at that. Point of control right there. I mean, you can I just don't want to, I don't want to say anything for certain. I mean, look at that. Even on my monthly, it was already there. Yeah, it's not going to get over that and sustain. I don't think so. Unless something changes with oil. I like this a lot, actually. Like, that to me is like, it looks like the EXBI, but just a longer time frame. Maybe a potentially exact double top. You know what I mean? So look at XBI. And you hope they're this easy, right? Just pretend this is the same kind of formation, like that double top. Just one had more time between it, right? That's that. Here's the XLE. It's coming right back. 100-day old point of control. Do you have a trade on this currently? I don't know who SA is. I apologize. Not all the names line up. I like to remember people's name. Yeah. I'd put that on the red alert. Is there, I can't remember, like Drip and Gush, is there a leveraged XLE ETF? I feel like there's a leveraged ETF of everything now. There's probably a leveraged ETF of StockTwits bullishness. And it's called the UVXY. No, I don't know. I just feel like there is the EXR or ERX. I'm just curious to see how, because sometimes when these things get so beaten down, they almost go to like reverse. Yeah, they almost reverse split. No, that looks. See, here's the decay factor, right? You know, all right. Hey guys, remember how we talk about decay factor? I mean, it's probably, even if it retests, it's gonna probably still be what, 60, 70, 50 cents lower. ERY. So this is the bear one. Yeah, and here's the decay again. If it makes a newer low, it's probably going to go slightly lower. Oh, it already did. It didn't even get a new. Does that make sense? Like, XLE made a lower high, but this made a lower low. Is everyone familiar with the decay in ETFs? Do they know how that works? Every one of them have a little bit of difference in them, but there's a decaying factor. If you want to go look up why, it's like, how do you make sausage? Do you want to just eat the sausage? You want to know how it's made. It just decays. It's, like the Black Skulls model with the volatility / with futures / throw another shrimp on the Barbie of complication. No, they just decay. All right. That's the last one. I appreciate you guys. Always fun hanging out. Again, if you're not a member of the Discord room, we're always kind of chatting in there, hanging out. Please be safe tomorrow. I don't know. What are the futures doing? Why do I not have the futures on here? I don't even have the futures on this one. Hold on. What is it? ESM22? Or is it N? right? Why am I? Oh, is it L? I can't remember. What's the futures currently one? What's it? What is it? It's H and then what? Why? It's like every year this is the same and you still can't remember it. But you can remember how you felt. Remember, I always tell people, like, I always remember the emotions of the market at certain points. But I struggle with trying to remember. Whatever. Check out the futures. I imagine I'm going to pull them up on my other computer. If you had a bet, not looking at them, what do you think? If you had to take just a guess on the futures. No, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Subscribe, support me, whatever. Again, I don't ever ask people for money. I just do what I'm trading and it works. Yeah, that's the micro, isn't it? ES10. Oh, man, I used to be so deep in the futures. I literally took them off. Okay, slightly up. That's what I would figure, slightly up. Because if you wanted to predict how tomorrow played out, what would be the best way to go lower? Either gap and go, or pop and flop. Like that would draw in the bulls again. Because there's a ton of calls. Everyone knows this. Being swept. But then there are some puts today. All right. That's what I look for. Pro gap, or remember Friday, Monday, then drop. And see if you get the pro gap. And if it pops, and then expect the flop. I mean, some of you guys who didn't get into the trades today, you might have opportunities to reshort. Talk to you guys and gals later. I appreciate you all. Have a great night. Be safe. Do your homework. I'm telling you, do your